as I started to observe how I narrate my sense of a self-identity, I've also noticed how sometimes the people around us reinforce these narrations, identities, not in a malicious way, just habitually assigning characteristics and stories back and forth to one another. Any insight into how to navigate this? Thanks for your question. Again, this asserting identities back and forth is actually a survival mechanism. So them validating your sense of self and your ego and your seeking patterns is them trying to be loved by you. And it's also them trying to be someone in comparison to you. So if they have a negative story with you, it's still, and they're putting you down, it's still them trying to be something. But if they're trying to complement your story and boost up your story, it's about them being loved by you. So again, it's about survival. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. If you took it really back down to the animal basics, it's like two dogs licking each other's ears. But it's this identification with it. Or it's two dogs licking each other's ears, or the top dog trying to put the other dogs in place. And you don't really need the other person to change. It's recognizing in you what they're doing. You know, when they're agreeing with your story, validating your story, like how this makes you feel good. And that's okay, but that's not freedom. If you seek that out as your freedom, then there'll be an addiction to doing that. And when they don't do that, you'll want to kill them. You'll be so angry at them. How dare they? And then when they're putting you down, then your belief that is the end of your freedom. And then you want to kill them in that way, because you're like, how dare you put me down? I'm freaking better than that. I'm better than you. So it's just seeing what's happening. And that none of it gives you freedom. So what is freedom? We're always looking for freedom in time, in ourselves, in our pleasures, in our pains, in our aversions. Your freedom is always what's always been, what always is, what never leaves. Isn't that heaven? God, I get love orgasms saying that. What never leaves, what always is. Can't you hear the freedom in that? It's nothing to do with Lisa. It's live, it's speaking out its truth. What never leaves, what always is. And then also seeing in you why you validate or disvalidate people. I think one of my biggest weaknesses in human interaction is fear of their explosions if I don't agree with them. Like I do lots of sessions, and you know, confronting people's egos as a living, and sometimes you're like waiting for the shit fan to spray all over you like that. They're all like peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. You push too hard. You know. So we all have our different trigger points, and I would say in the human world that triggers me at points. Like the fear of their rage as you poke. and the fear of their depression as well. Like sometimes, like I can see, you know, if I poke too hard, they're just going to collapse into themselves. And it actually physically hurts me validating people's stories when I know it's not true. It physically is a pain. Yeah. So you have to play the dodgeball, the dodgy dodge, and try to make the best out of it. I'll give you one piece of information which is very astute. It's one of the most best metaphors for this that I've ever had. If life throws you a lemon, you squeeze it and you make lemon juice or a lemon drop. You squeeze it, you get another lemon, you squeeze it, and you make lemon juice. Yeah. I hope you can appreciate my banana-ness. I mostly wouldn't do this if we were one-to-one speaking, but because I just see a picture of you, it allows more of my monkey out.